Professor Sabonawanic Barry, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of algebra, a little bit more of algebra. Now, for today, let's read the agenda. So, first, for the do now, we'll have a linear versus quadratic. This looks like finding a line. So, finding linear equation using 2 points, solving the quadratic equation by factoring, and solve the quadratic equation by quadratic formula. And for the exit clip, we'll do the linear and quadratic. Just test out your ability in them one more time. Now, we'll start with the do now. So, what do you think we should do first?
First, we should label them x1, y1, x2, y2.
Okay, so why don't you do that?
Right. So, let's label 2 as x1. Let's label this 2 x1 and y2. y1, sorry. This should be x2. It should be y2. Okay. So y2, y1. And x2 is x1. So let's fill this in. Since we know that y2 is negative 5, let's replace y2 as negative. Okay. Since we know y1 is 2, let's replace that as 2. Okay. Since we know x2 is 6, let's replace that as 6. And since we know x1 is 2, we'll replace that as 2.
So what would that give you? What would that give you?
So we know that negative 5 minus 2...
a fraction.
Yeah. That gives you negative 7 over 4.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty... Okay. So, negative 7 divided by 4. So now, we don't want to just find the slope, which will make m. M is the variable for slope. We want to find the equation. So what do you think the equation for a line is? No. How do you think you can find the equation of a line just using the slope and the 2 points you're given? How do you think you can find? How do you think you can find the equation with only the 2 points you're given and the slope?
We would do this.
You can
do y minus...
But we don't want to include a y in our equation. Y y minus y1 equals to Okay. So good. But we want to find only y. So how can we use the addition property to bring y1 to the other side?
Y to the other side.
Okay. You don't have to write a question mark. Just, you can try your best. Doesn't matter if you get it wrong. So, this isn't y1. This is just perfectly y. How do you use the addition property? How do you use the addition property? Yes, you can add y1 to both sides. So the minus y1 and the plus y1 will cancel out. So that would give you m times x minus x1 plus y, plus what? Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. Okay, you can write it. You can write it. I'm just going to, okay, m times x minus x1 plus what?
Since x1 would be
wait, and what is
2.
And plus what? Remember, we can't eliminate the y1 from the equation. Plus what? Remember, you added y1 to both sides. So what would end up on this side? y1. Good. Now, what is y1? What is y1 from the point?
So,
doing very well. And remember, what is the slope? Because we don't know. Because if we leave the m there,
negative 7.
okay. So you can erase m and make it negative 7 over 4. Here you can use the distributive property to multiply negative 7 over 4 by x plus 2. So what would that give you? This is the final step to getting the equation. So what would that give you? Minus 7 over 4 multiplied by x plus 2. This is where you can use your distributive property.
Can you please say that again?
So what is negative 7 divided by 4 times x plus 2?
Negative 7 divided by 4 x plus 2.
We can use the distributive property. No. We can't do that. It's in the process of multiplication, so it's invalid to do that. You want to multiply. Ooh. Oh no. So you want to multiply negative 7 over 4 by x plus 2. So you want to multiply those two things together. So 7 over 4 times. So you can use your distributive property skills.
Can you please say that again?
Okay. Negative 7 over 4 multiplied by x plus 2. What would that give you? Also, this is kind of clogging up space. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why am I so chaotic with the eraser? I'm gonna fix that up.
X. Would it be negative 3.5?
Okay, so negative negative 7 over 4 times 2. So negative 7 over 4x, negative 7x over 4 plus minus 7 over 2. But if you want to go into decimal, yes, minus 3.5 is technically correct. So if you add 2, so that would give you the equation y equals negative 7 over 4x and then minus 1.5. That's the equation.
In decimals, would negative 3.5 also make sense?
Negative, yeah, that makes sense too, because 7 over 2 is 3.5. Wanted to clarify that. So, now, we have the linear. Now we have another linear formula. Then we have a quadratic, it looked like. Then another quadratic, and then another quadratic. So now let's go to the lesson. God, today is really dependent.
Maybe the same step like other problem?
Yeah, you can try solving this one by yourself. If you need any help, I can help you.
3 would be x1, 4 would be 5 would be x2, and 6 would be y2 minus y minus x. Which is y2, so in y2 and 6. Since we know 4 is y1, 4 as well. Since we know that 5 will 5, x1 is 3. Okay. So we both know this track them and this 2. So now if you divide 2 by 2, we know that the slope is 1. Okay. We grabbed 3 and 4. We will do y minus y1 m to m x minus x1. So since we know that in, since we know y1, so 3 and 4. Since we know that, this would be 1. This would be y1. Y4. So let's go back to 4. Since we know and we fill that in with 1. Since we don't know x yet,
But remember, 1 is inefficient in multiplication. It doesn't do anything. So you don't need to use the distributed property.
you just distribute 1.
You can do that.
Y.
But look, we want to find y in terms of x. But there's also a -4 next to the y. So how do we isolate the y?
If you subtract both of these, y equals x.
What's 4 minus 3? What's 4 minus 3? Minus 1. Okay, good. X plus 1.
So y equals.
You did good.
That was good.
Then my computer's lagging. Okay. So now we have the lesson. No, now we have more of the lesson. Which is a quadratic. But it's by factoring. You can factor. So factor out the quadratic. Find its factors.
So
should be on page 3. Okay. Oh, no. By factoring. We're not doing that way yet. We're doing that by the next time. No, we're going to do that on the next page. Not now.
So A times C. So you find two numbers.
Remember, it's negative. Remember, it's negative. So you have to put this.
Negativity. Let's try -5 times 3. -5 times 3.
See, I'm the pair.
This gives, but doesn't matter.
Okay, this works. Yeah, -5 and 3. So, can you...
So we would do is 15. After this, a 3 and or should
No, you don't have to find the value. You found the factors. Now, let's move on to the final part of the lesson where you can use the quadratic formula.
we're doing this
We're doing the same problem again, except you can use quadratic this time.
Okay, solve the quadratic. Negative b plus minus root squared minus 4a over 2a. So we know that and a 2 is b, 15 is c. That b is 2, make this 2 negative and be positive. So, okay. Third would be 2. Let's close that and 2. Since we also know a is 1 and c is 15, we'll fill this in by 1 and negative. Okay, since we also know that 2 and 1, so 2. So that's 2 plus minus. You know that 2 to 4, we put 4, 15. 1 times negative 15 gives you negative 15 times negative 4 gives you 60. Yes. Okay, so that gives you 60. That's 60. Well, words times 1 is 2. Now, let's add 60 and 60 and 4. That will give you 64. Now, we need to find the perfect square for 64. Since 64 goes to 8, so 8 is the perfect square for 64. So 2 plus minus 8 over 2.
Wait, you can't put the square of 8. You can only put this
Plus
8.
8 over 2. Oh. 2 minus 8 over 9. 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5, so it would be 5. 2 minus 8.
And then this would be negative 3. Just like the value we got for the